You're in the hustle mode, but eventually you have to go from hustler to boss. And the big thing that I see with a lot of these cats that start their first dropshipping store, make 30K, 50K, 100K. Most people will watch this clip on TikTok. Bro, if I could make 20 grand a month. 50 years ago, the number was 4,000 because of inflation. And I'm not talking, guys, for the 99% that will be listening to it. I'm talking to the 1% that say, you know what, fuck this. If there's motherfuckers out here living the life of their dreams, I'm not going to be a second-class citizen. To the other people that like their 9-to-5s, their jobs, no hate, nothing like, so be it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Like, brother, you think I'm going to work a decade hustling, thinking that I'm productive for 1.2 million when I can make that in a trade by understanding how the world works? A lot of people would not be able to sleep. A lot of people that I know that are extremely successful. I know a guy, dude, I think he's worth like 112 million. I saw one of his crypto wallets. He told me that for the last 2 years, he hasn't been able to sleep because he feels anxious that somebody's going to steal his money.
That's wild.
Think about being so rich, coming from nothing. So you have that paranoia of losing. And especially if you're in crypto, that people are going to take your shit, right? So every single day, every relationship that you interact with, it's all like this, looking over my shoulder. Is somebody going to take my shit? Sleeping at night, making sure I'm checking my wallet 24/7, make sure my funds. Dude, it's like psychotic shit.
It reminds me of a squirrel, like with their acorns.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Like,
exactly, bro. Exactly. It's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it's like, is that person truly happy? Is that truly a person that defines success? Why? No, it's not. And once you start reading a lot of these texts that hold a lot of value and truth, like the Bible, for example, there's this verse in the Bible that says, "It is better," and I'm paraphrasing it. It is better to live in a small room, happy, than to dine in a banquet with discord. The discord, the original word is discord, or like enmity in conversation. It's also conversation, but it's a discordia is the word in Spanish. I don't know how to translate that in English. Is discordia? Let me look it up. Is it Discord? Discordia?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could be wrong, but
yeah, it's Discord. Yeah, Discordia. Okay, yeah. So it's the enmity, right? So why would you have enmity in a banquet in a palace when you could have peace in a small room? Which one would you choose? A wise man would choose the peace, because that is where you actually live. You live here. You don't live here. You live here.
That's what I think a lot of people need to be careful with, is not trying to like so desperately to escape a rat race just to go into like an even bigger rat race.
Yeah,
it's like just ridiculous.
It's like the health to money health rat race, which is this: people neglect their health in order to obtain money to then spend that same money that they initially neglected their health for to regain their health.
It's ironic.
And it makes no sense. It's I'm going to get out of the rat race of the 9-to-5 to get into the rat race of destroying my health, making a ton of money to then recover my health. It makes no sense. So people don't live a life of balance. It's all extremes. It's all extremes. It's hot, cold. Nobody understands how to play in the middle. Nobody understands how to have a life of balance. And it's in the balance where you find sobriety of mind. It's in the balance where you find purpose, tranquility, and peace. And it's one of those things that, dude, it's irreplaceable. There is no amount of money that you can put on good health, good relationships, and peace of mind and peace of heart. That shit
it's infinity.
Can't be bought, can't be sold. It can't be bought, it can't be sold.
That's deep, bro. I love that. I love conversating about these things, especially in the space that we operate in, or at the very least, I mean, I know you operate in a lot of different spaces. You're so viral right now, but specifically in the entrepreneurship, e-com world, this is so prevalent, and it's just, it's definitely a problem. So,
you know why I think, bro? You know why I think it's a problem? It's because people enter the dropshipping space in their first digital business with desperation. And I understand you don't have money, you got bills to pay. So you're hustling, right? You're in the hustle mode. But eventually you have to go from hustler to boss. And it's in that transition of hustler to boss where you actually become a businessman. A hustler is not a businessman. No, this is a business amateur. A businessman, right, is a boss. He's the one that runs the business, not the business run them. And the big thing that I see with a lot of these cats that start their first dropshipping store, make 30K, 50K, 100K. You have these guys that run a digital marketing agency. They make their 20K a month. To most people, 20,000, most people will watch this clip on TikTok. Bro, if I could make 20 grand a month, if I could make whatever, 50 years ago, the number was 4,000 because of inflation, right? Or 3,000. That was the metric. So the number is always going to change. When you're talking with numbers, numbers are infinite. So your happiness can't be attached to a number, because as soon as you achieve it, you're going to want more. It's just a common tendency. So when you have the situation whereby you have all these young cats that are making, like, let's say 10K, 20K, 30K a month, they feel productive. But are they actually productive? No, because they're hustlers. Let me break it down. Let's say year one, you're doing hustle mode. You're doing 5K a month. Let's say you live fairly cheap and you have good tax write-offs. You get to keep 35K out of the 55K, right? That to me is doable. I've done it before. I was making six figures. When I started making six figures, I was paying $200 a month sleeping on my brother's couch, like, because I was saving that money, going from hustler to boss. Most people will spend the money that they make on their hustle period and spend it on themselves, lavish, trying to act and pretend that they're what? Bosses. Mm-hmm. But the boss reinvests the hustle money into the business to create sustainability. And then in the sustainability, there is where you splurge. And a lot of people are hustling. Why? It goes back to what I said before. They're hobos. They're so they've never tasted it, right? So they have to taste it, get it out of your system. But understand that 10K, 20K a month ain't going to cut it. It'll cut it for a lot of people. And I'm not talking, guys, for the 99% that will be listening to it. I'm talking to the 1% that say, you know what, fuck this. If there's motherfuckers out here living the life of their dreams, I'm not going to be a second-class citizen. I'm not going to be surrendered to the will of another person. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. So I'm speaking to those people. To the other people that like their 9-to-5s, their jobs, no hate, nothing, so be it. That's okay.
Yeah.
So back to the people making 10K, 20K, 30K a month as hustlers. Let's do the math. Let's say you make 10K a month. I think that's fairly good. 20K a month. Let's give the person some good revenue. 20K a month net profit. Let's say you go out to a couple dinners. You spend $3,000 a month on rent. That's about 15%, which is your average of your income. You have your taxes. Let's say you pocket 10,000, right? Let's say 10,000 a month. At the end of the year, let's say you got 120K. What's that after a decade? 1.2 million. Like, brother, you think I'm going to work a decade hustling, thinking that I'm productive for 1.2 million when I can make that in a trade by understanding how the world works, understanding how the markets flow, understanding ebbs and flows of the currencies that are taking place, the new currencies that are popping up, the CBDCs that are going to be taken. Bro, I'm already out here preparing for CBDCs. I'm preparing for the dystopian future. Like, I'm lined the fuck up. And I'm positioning myself for a big $100 million payout, not a $1.2 million payout throughout 10 fucking years, thinking that I'm productive because I've made 20 grand a month, right? And that's the perspective that people need to change is, okay, I'm hustling for this direct money. I'm spraying bullets like Rambo. Some will hit, some will miss. My friend, I want to be the guy on the tree, the sniper. I want to be the guy that chills, and when he sees his target, aims, calculates the wind, shoots, headshot.